Michael from IE with our second episode of the Inspired Adventures podcast. I'm getting ready to head back to Belize with the McNair Scholar students from Talladega College. So last week I met with Dr. Andy Coleman, chair of the biology department at Talladega, to talk about that program. And here's what he had to say. Just as a complete disclaimer, we've never actually met before, right?
I don't know who you are.
That's a lie. So actually, Andy and I know each other from our time at Appalachian State. He may wish he didn't know who I was. Okay.
Stop calling me. I've blocked your number.
Okay, so this has been a blind call into Andy today. Obviously, he didn't know I was calling, but seriously, I've known Andy for a long period of time. He's a great scientist and a herpetologist who has a passion for science education, and I'm really glad to have him here today. And we're going to mostly be talking about our adventures with Talladega College and our trip a year ago this time, and how that sets us up for our trip in just a couple of weeks coming up. So first of all, Andy, why don't you just tell us something about yourself and what you're doing at Talladega?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me, Mike. So I'm in my fifth year at Talladega College. Yeah, like you said, I'm the biology professor, or assistant biology professor, and a newly minted department chair. But Talladega College is Alabama's oldest private historically Black college. It was started or founded in 1867 by a couple of former slaves, and it has just a rich history of producing just outstanding graduates who have gone on and touched so many aspects of American culture and history. And so it's a privilege to be here at the institution, and I'm excited that I can bring something new to it by the establishment of this study abroad program. And so this is something that I've wanted to do since I've been here at Talladega, and just excited to see the program go and so grow. And so I'll say have you and Inspired Adventures to thank for that.
Great. So thank you. I mean, our experience last year was simply amazing, and I'm so glad we're going to be doing it again this year. I mean, bringing even more students. But why don't we just explain a little bit about why we're going down there? What is the McNair Foundation? How are they involved with this process?
Yeah, so the Ronald E. McNair Scholars Program is just a tremendous federal program. It's obviously named in honor of excuse me, of Ronald McNair, Dr. Ronald E. McNair, one of the astronauts who tragically lost their lives aboard the Challenger explosion back in the late 1980s. But he really saw the value of science and how it improved his life. And so this program was established to honor his legacy. And it's a program that aims to provide assistance to first generation students and those that are underrepresented in the sciences, to provide a holistic training during their undergraduate experience to help them prepare them for success in graduate and professional school. And so Talladega College has one of the oldest Ronald E. McNair programs, I believe. And so the dean of our division, Dr. Allison Brown, is the head of that, and she and her staff just do such a great job with that program here at Talladega. And with her support, we were able to last year take a couple of the Ronald E. McNair Scholars down to Belize, and one of the pillars of the program is undergraduate research. And so through their participation in the trip and through the program, they were able to do a couple of projects in Belize, and I think were great experiences for them, and experiences they wouldn't be able to have without the McNair program and Inspired Adventures.
So these students actually apply for this scholarship, right?
They do. They have to meet certain requirements. They have to meet academic requirements, and then a certain percentage of the students within the institution's program have to meet certain economic standards that to ensure that the program is is meeting the kind of the outcomes of the larger McNair program.
So, Andy, I think that the key thing about this is from what I learned from you is that the fact that these research projects are really kind of the capstone to their program. I remember with the two students last year who we're going to talk about in a few moments, they were pretty much finishing up by the time we got them to Belize. And you are a research scientist, a herpetologist, and a very well accomplished one. You run the Urban Turtle Project, okay, which is an amazing program in itself. And maybe we can get you back on one day just to talk about that. But so what did you envision for these research projects? Okay, first of all, I mean, why is it so important that they do these types of research? And then take a moment, just tell me about some of the projects you wanted to be interested in, and then we'll get into talking about the students.
Well, just the experience and participating in a research project is so instrumental in someone's maturation as a scientist because you apply, excuse me, scientific principles that you learn in the classroom through experimental design, data analysis, science communication. All those aspects are a part of an effective research project. And so I think it's important that really any undergraduate student do that. I wish I sort of understood the value of that when I was an undergraduate. I didn't really learn that until I was in graduate school. And so so to be able to provide those opportunities to students here at Talladega, who again, a lot of them are first generation students, meaning that they don't necessarily have um, the academic foundation that other people have the privilege to have. It is just one of the biggest parts of the job I love. And so the two projects that we did, one of them was obviously kind of more within my wheelhouse. It was an initiation of a turtle ecology project in Belize. The other one, it kind of has a longer history if you remember. I mean, it really kind of bore out of the COVID year. In my first summer at here at Talladega, and I was asked to serve as a research mentor to the McNair program. But all of the projects had to be virtual, had to be distance, and so I was scrambling because I didn't know what to do. But you and I had somehow reconnected, and I maybe wanted to learn more about your sort of new efforts with Inspired Adventures, and saw that y'all had been setting out some wildlife cameras down in Belize, and so I don't know. I think I basically reached out and begged me like, can we please analyze some of your data? And you took pity on me and allowed one of my students that year to analyze a lot of the wildlife camera trap photos that you had been taken in Belize and that just kind of kept the conversation going of like, man, this is really cool. Students enjoy it. Something that they never thought they would do. Wouldn't it be cool to take some students down there? And so that kind of led into me doing a scouting trip in 2021 or 2022, and then with last year's trip with taking the first group of students. So that other project is a continuation of analyzing wildlife camera trap photos to look at the presence of the big wildlife cat species that occur in Belize, but also their potential prey species. And so that again is a number of students have participated in that project, and I've had at least one or two present at conferences data from those projects, and so it's just been such a fruitful collaboration between us and Inspired Adventures. That's one I'm very thankful for.
We are so happy for that. I mean, we've been so glad and actually privileged ourselves to be able to work with your students. They bring a unique insight into what's going on. They also, have a nice eye for picking out things on cameras that we didn't see a couple of times, which was kind of interesting. And it's been a lot of fun, and I'm really glad that we could do that. I want to spend a few moments talking about the two students that we did bring down last year, okay, and a little bit about what they did. Because I think it was an amazing project, an amazing trip. And so I'm going to let you introduce those two students and tell them a little bit about their research projects and how they finished out before we look at what we're going to be doing this year.
Yeah, so the two students, one was Armani McFadden, who was a biology major from Chicago, Illinois. And then the other one was Chaisha Johnson, a biology major from Cleveland, Ohio, by way of Atlanta, Georgia. So they both were selected to go and participate. Armani continued with the Jaguar ecology camera trap study, and where she analyzed photos before we went down to Belize, and then when we were in country, we went to put out a couple of new cameras and then replace cars. So she saw sort of the gambit of the project of setting up the cameras, selecting good locations, and as well as the data analysis part. And Chaisha, she helped me initiate a turtle ecology project in Belize. And so we selected several field sites in the Saboon River watershed, where we put out some traps and just identified the turtle species that we captured. We took a suite of morphological measurements from them, and then we marked them so that when we go back down again this year, if we catch them again, we can identify individuals.
So really, they were working on the Jaguar monitoring project and then also the turtle one. And these were kind of fun. The nice thing about it, I remember, was the fact that both students actually worked on all projects, right? So it's not like
Yeah.
they have their own project. It was really a collaboration. And these were amazing female scientists, really. They really were. The questions they asked and, their attitudes and everything about being down there. And I had a lot of fun with them. I really did. We did a lot of cool things besides just the research projects. We spent a lot of time at the zoo. We went to the Belize Raptor Center, Mayan ruins. We had a really good time with it. And it was a great experience. Both those students have graduated now, right?
They both have, yes. Mm-hmm.
That's nice. And this was an important part of their checklist to finish everything up, correct?
Yeah, I mean, and to them, they looked at it not only as sort of a work trip, but also just a great experience that they might not have had otherwise.
So, Andy, I mean, overall, for these two young women scientists, what do you think the impact was on them personally for the chance to go to Belize and to do this type of research? I mean, professionally and personally. I mean, you have a chance to talk with them and probably were with them at graduation. And what do you think they felt?
I mean, I think it was, just a positive experience in every way imaginable. One of the things that stuck out to me is, so when I've been down to Belize twice, and both times I kind of had a fanboy moment looking at the leafcutter ants. Because growing up, if I ever think about images of the jungle, probably one of the first images that come to mind would be images of leafcutter ants, falling line, in line, carrying pieces of leaves back to the mound. And you see that everywhere in Belize. And so the first time I was just mesmerized by it, just like, oh my God, I'm actually in the jungle. And so I was excited to see their reaction to it. And I remember the three of us, at watching the leafcutter ants do their work at the Tropical Education Center that the Belize Zoo owns, and Armani commenting, "I never imagined I would be taking video of ants." And so just that sort of anecdote, I think illustrates the type of experience they had, that they did stuff, they saw stuff that they had never seen before. And who knows how many chances they'll have to see in the future. Hopefully a bunch, and hopefully this kind of planted a bug in them for adventure and the things that they may not otherwise imagine that they would do. But at least we were able to give them that experience. And I think they had such a great time. And not only seeing how different science projects are done, but just the sights and sounds of Belize, I think they just enjoyed.
One of my favorite memories of both of them was when we went to the Belize Raptor Center. And neither one of them, for the VIP tour at the Belize Raptor Center, you have the birds on your arm. Okay. You're wearing protective gear and, the staff's there and everything. And neither one of them wanted to do this. Okay. But both of them, what I really, really enjoyed about them is they were willing to experience anything. It wasn't a no. It was just going to be, I don't feel comfortable, but I'm going to do it. And both of them had a chance to sit there with orange-breasted falcons, only 42 left in Belize, right? Horribly endangered and threatened species, and listen and learn from that type of experience, eye to eye with probably one of the rarest raptors in the world. And they both loved every minute of it. And I'll be sharing some video of that. So let's shift gears just a little bit. At the end of last year's trip, we asked both Armani and Chaisha, the McNair scholars on the trip, their opinions of their time in Belize with IE. Here's what Chaisha had to say.
Hello, my name is Shaisha Johnson. I am a senior biology major at Talladega College. I am also a Ronald E. McNair Scholar. So, my best experiences, honestly, the entire experience in Belize as a whole was amazing. This is my first time ever being out of the country, ever even being in Belize. So honestly, I would say my top ones was going to the Mayan ruins and learning about the Mayan culture, the civilizations that came before us. Going to see the animals, the different raptors, and going to see the jaguars. That was the highlight. But honestly, it was the best experience. Including the food. The food is so fresh. You could definitely taste the difference from food here and in food in the U.S. The experiences has made me a better person altogether. This is honestly the best thing I've ever done in my life. I've never done anything like this before. So people who come from where I come from, and don't have as many opportunities, I think this is a great opportunity for them to come in general, broaden their mind, broaden their taste buds, just make them an overall better person, because this doesn't definitely have.
And now, let's hear from Armani and what she thought about last year's trip.
Hi, my name is Armani McFadden. I am a biology major at Talladega College. I'm a part of the McNair program, and coming to Belize was amazing. I'm from Chicago, and this environment is completely different from what I'm used to. The food, the wildlife, nature, everything was amazing. It was the cultural enrichment. Everything was everything. You should come here for many reasons. This is a once in a lifetime experience. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to experience nature, just being out in the jungle. That's not something you do on a day-to-day basis. You're gonna love it here. Just come.
We're bringing more students this time. Okay, a little bit of a different experience. We're going a couple different places. What are your goals for our adventure in 2 weeks?
Well, yeah, so we're bringing 5 students this year, and we're going to continue with the Turtle Ecology Project. I'm excited to try a couple new field sites to kind of see what we get. We're going to continue with the Jaguar Ecology Project, and then we're also going to have another student sample a couple places for freshwater macroinvertebrates. And so that'll be a new project. And one thing I've always enjoyed with science is learning new things. I think that's almost a requirement to be a good scientist, is your willingness to learn. You never stop learning. And so every time I go, this will be my third time. I know I'll learn a host of new things on the trip. And so, just again, a continuation, just a positive experiences for the students that we started last year. And I have no doubt that we'll continue this year. I know the students are excited. When we came back last year, Chaisha and Armani did a presentation to the department or to the division, talking about their experiences, and had students just asking questions, showing their interest. And a couple of the students who asked the most questions last year are going this year, so I know they're excited. So yeah, I know that it'll be a great experience for all, and like I said, I'm excited to see new things.
Great. I can't wait to get there. Pretty soon now we'll be going. So I want to thank you, Andy, okay, for coming on to the show and any last comments you have, and before we sign off and start to get ready?
No, just stop calling.
Stop calling. You keep changing your number. I keep finding you. It's really strange. It's one of those air tags I put into your luggage last time I saw you. So there you go. So thank you, Andy. And
Thank
we're going to
you.
be in Belize with Andy and the Talladega students very shortly. We're actually going to be posting some material up live up into our social media sites and developing episode 3, where we get to meet the students, learn about their research projects. For more information on all this, just go back to our website. And Andy, we will see you in the jungle shortly.
Can't wait. Counting the days.
For more information on how you can support wildlife education efforts, please visit us at inspireadventures.com.